Hello friends, in previous lecture we studied about the aphorism number 259 to 263, that is about the diet and regimen. That is what should be the diet and regimen that we follow during the homeopathic treatment. Now in today's lecture we are going to start with the aphorism number 264 to 272, and this part contains about the homeopathic pharmacy. In this, it contains the homeopathic pharmacy. In aphorism number 264, it is told about the genuine unimpaired medicine. That is, what should be the genuine medicine in homeopathy. Then, in 265, it is about the employment of correct medicine. That is, what should be the correct medicine that we employed for the treatment of diseases. Then in aphorism number 266, it is about the medicines of vegetable and animal kingdom. What should be the medicines that is prepared from vegetable and animal kingdom. Then in aphorism number 267, we are going to discuss the medicine that are of indigenous plant. That is how the medicines of indigenous plants should be prepared. Then in aphorism number 268, we are going to study the medicines that are of exotic substances. Then in aphorism number 269, we are going to discuss about the dynamization of drugs. In this, what are the advantages of dynamization of drugs? That is described in the 5th and 6th edition of Organon of Medicine. Then in aphorism number 270, we are going to discuss about the methods of dynamizations. What is the potentization and what are the methods of dynamizations and how the dynamization of drugs is done. This is studied in aphorism number 270. Then in aphorism number 271, we are going to discuss the physician knowledge of pharmacy, as a homeopathic physician must have a thorough knowledge of homeopathic pharmacy, as we studied the homeopathic pharmacy subject in the first year of BHMS. Hence, you should have the thorough knowledge of homeopathic pharmacy to practice the homeopathy very well. Then in aphorism number 272, that is about the administration of remedy. That is how the remedy should be administered to the patient. So this is the short summary about the aphorisms from, that is 264 to 272, that relates to the homeopathic pharmacy. In this, the part covered is about the genuineness of the medicine, then how the employment of correct medicine is done, then medicines that is prepared from the different sources, that is from the vegetable kingdom and animal kingdom, then how the medicine of indigenous substances and the exhaustive substances are prepared, then what is the dynamization of drugs, then what are the methods that relate to the dynamization of drugs, then physician knowledge about the homeopathic pharmacy and how the administration of remedy is done. So this all part covered in the homeopathic pharmacy. Now we are going to discuss one by one the aphorisms. In these PPTs, the aphorism word is used as a para. In this, the para 264 means aphorism number 264. What is given in aphorism number 264? The true physician must have available authentic medicines in perfect conditions is to depend on their therapeutic power. He must know for himself that they are genuine. That is what is explained in aphorism number 264, that is the genuineness of unimpaired medicines means the medicine which is used for the treatment or the to cure the patient is, it must be a genuine medicines, or the medicine we prepared for the cure of the patient, it is a genuine nature. In this, that physician is ideal one who is having thorough knowledge of homeopathic pharmacy, as the physician who is going to treat the patient have must have a knowledge of homeopathic pharmacy. Now, what is the homeopathic pharmacy? In this, the homeopathic pharmacy is an art and science of collecting, compounding, then combining, preparing, preserving, and standardizing drugs and medicine from vegetable, mineral, animal kingdoms and certain physiological and morbid substances sources according to the guidelines given in the organ of medicine, and also dispensing medicines or remedies according to the prescription of homeopathic physician. So what is homeopathic pharmacy? It is an art and science of collecting of different drug substances, then it compounding, how to combining, then preparing, preserving and standardizing drugs and medicines from different sources. The sources of medicine may be vegetable kingdom, it may be mineral kingdom, it may be animal kingdom, or other sources of drugs. So in this way the homeopathic medicines are prepared, and the one who is going to treat the patient have a thorough knowledge of homeopathic pharmacy. So in order to achieve the goal of an ideal cure, the physician should have that medicine with him which are genuine, on which he can have a saint% faith. That is, what medicine he is going to use, he having thorough knowledge about that medicine and having a saint% faith on that. The physician should have a knowledge regarding how to find out and how to judge the genuineness of the medicines. And in this way, the physician should have a knowledge regarding how to find out or how to judge the genuineness of the medicine. As a good homeopathic physician can say that the medicine is pure or it is impure, and for that reason the physician must have a thorough knowledge of homeopathic pharmacy regarding all the aspects of the medicines. Then in aphorism number 265 or the para 265, it is said that it is for him a matter of conscience to be absolutely sure that the patient always receives the right medicine. Therefore, he himself must provide the patient with the correctly chosen remedy which he himself has prepared. So, it is regarding the employment of correct medicine, how homeopathic physician can employ a correct homeopathic medicines to the patient. To uphold these very important basic principles of my teaching, I have endured much persuasion since discovering it. In this, it is described as the ideal dispenser of homeopathic medicine is the homeopathic physician himself. As homeopathic physician know each and everything about the preparation of drugs, then how to employ that medicine to the patient, what are the doses given to the patient, and how it will be regulated. So the ideal dispenser of homeopathic medicine is the homeopathic physician himself only. That homeopathic physician is the ideal one who prepares the medicine by its own, who dispenses and gives direction to the patient regarding how to take the medicine, how must be repetition, etc. As homeopathic physician know each and everything regarding the preparation of medicine, then about the directions to the patient regarding how to take the medicines and what should be the repetition of the dose. That knowledge having that knowledge must to the physician, and in for that reason the ideal dispenser of the homeopathic medicine is the homeopathic physician himself. That is regarding the employment of correct medicine, and for the employment of correct medicine, homeopathic physician is the only solution for that. This is explained in aphorism number 265 regarding the employment of correct medicine. Now we are going to discuss about the aphorism number 266. So what it explains, that is, the substances from animal and vegetable kingdom are most medicinally according in their crude state. That is, all crude animal and vegetable substances have more or less medic virtue and can alter the state of human health, each in its own way. That is regarding the medicines belonging to the vegetable and animal kingdom. In this, all medicinal substances that belonging to this group possesses the medicinal properties during their raw state also. As were preparing medicines from the animal kingdom and vegetable kingdom. In these kingdoms, the medicinal properties are present during the raw state or in the crude form of their substances. As in each and every plant, there is presence of some medicinal properties, and these properties are also present in the raw state also. That is regarding the presence of medicinal properties in the raw state or in the crude form. And in this way, the vegetable and animal kingdom, they having the medicinal properties in their raw state also or in their crude form also. That is given in aphorism number 266. Up till now we studied three aphorisms. First one, aphorism number 264, that is regarding the genuine unimpaired medicines. That is, the physician must know each and everything regarding the homeopathic medicines. Then second, that is 265, that is employment of correct medicine. And for employment of correct medicine, homeopathic physician is the best choice. And then aphorism number 266 or the para 266, we are going to discuss the, that is, vegetable kingdom and animal kingdom having the medicinal properties in their raw state also or in their crude form also. That is in aphorism number 266. Now we are going to discuss the aphorism number 267. So what is explained in aphorism number 267? That is, to utilize in the most complete and certain way the power of indigenous plants that can be obtained fresh, one thoroughly mixes the sap immediately after it has been pressed out with an equal amount of wine spirit strong enough for a sponge to burn in it. One then lets this stand for 24 hours in a tightly closed bottle and decants the clear liquid from the fibrous and the albuminous matter that has settled and stored it carefully for medicinal use. The wine spirit immediately stop for fermentation of the sap and makes subsequent fermentation impossible. By this method, the medicinal strength of the sap can be permanently preserved, perfect and unspoiled, stored away from the sunlight in bottles that have been well closed and sealed with molten wax to prevent evaporation. In aphorism number 267, they give the guidelines for the preparation of the medicines from indigenous plants. Indigenous plants means the plants that are available to the native place. The plant that are available in the native place, and that native place we are going to prepare the medicines. So these indigenous plants are collected in a fresh, as a fresh plant, and from these fresh plants how the medicines are prepared, that is explained in aphorism number 267. In this they give regarding the medicines to the how the medicines are prepared. In this, of course, before this, one sometimes mixed up the sap of plants with wine spirit to store it for a while before making an extract from it, but never with the intention of administrating it in this form. Equal parts of wine spirit and freshly pressed sap usually make up the right proportion for precipitating the fibrous and albuminous matter. In this, for the plants contain much mucilage or an excess albumin, one usually need a double proportion of alcohol. That is, very dry plants such as oleander, etc. must first be powdered alone into fine moist pulp and then stirred into a double portion of wine spirit, which is regarding the how the medicines are prepared from the indigenous plants. In this aphorism, that is in aphorism number 267, the sequence of how the medicines are prepared. In this, first the indigenous means a native, that is collection of fresh plant is collected, then it is mixed with equal parts of spirits, that is strength of spirit must be able to burn a lamp, that is the spirit having that much capacity of that is used in the burning of the lamp. So this fresh plant is mixed with equal parts of spirit, that fresh plant mixed with equal parts of spirit, then kept in a closed stoppered bottle for 24 hours. After that, we kept that plant in a stoppered closed bottle for 24 hours. After that, there is deposition of fibrinous and albuminous matter. When we kept that plant for 24 hours in a closed bottle with mixed spirit, then there is deposition of fibrinous and albuminous matter, and after this there is fluid is decanted, then fermentation is checked by the spirit of wine. After this, the fermentation is occurred in that bottle and fermentation is checked by the spirit of wine. Then protect with a well corked bottles, use wax and protect from a direct exposure to the sunlight. As we kept these bottles away from the exposure to the sunlight and protect them well with a corked bottles, and in this way we kept that plant in a spirit filled bottle, and in this way the fibrinous and albuminous matter settle at the bottom, and after this, after 24 hours, we see what happens to that bottles, and in this way the medicines is prepared from these bottles, that is further protected with wax to prevent evaporation and excluded from the sunlight. So in this way the medicines are prepared from the indigenous plants, that is explained in aphorism number 267 regarding the indigenous plants. Now in aphorism number 268, it is regarding the how the medicines are prepared from exotic plants. The exotic plants, the other exotic plants, the bark, seeds and the roots that cannot be obtained in the fresh state, the sensible practitioner will never take in the pulverized form on trust, but will first convince himself of their genuineness in their crude, entire state before making any medicinal employment of them. So whatever that is plants prepared from the exotic plants means the plants which are not available at the site of the preparation of medicines. That is, exotic means the of foreign origin or not native, that are not available at the site of preparation of medicines. So these are the exotic substances, and how the medicines are prepared from these exotic substances. In this, the pulverization means the reduction of any substance to powder. In this case, the plant is dried, and after this is converted in the powdered form. Those medicinal substances which are foreign in origin, which cannot be taken in the fresh form, physician has to take in the form of powder. But prior to use, physician should undergo for study of pharmaceutical analysis. In this, when the plant is of exotic nature or is of foreign origin, in that case we pulverize that plant. And how pulverize? In this, the reduction of any substance to powder. In this case, we dried that substance, and after that this is converted into a powdered form for the long duration. And in this, those medicinal substances which are foreign in origin, which cannot be taken in a fresh form, physician has to take in the powder form. But prior to the use of, physician should undergo for study of pharmaceutical analysis. As it is stored in the powder form, there are many deformities can be added in that, and to avoid that, before using that powder form medicines, it should be analyzed properly in the pharmaceutical laboratories. In this, in order to preserve them in powder form, one has to take a precaution that was previously almost unknown to pharmacists, so that they could not even preserve powders of well dried animal and vegetable substances in well closed bottles without spoilage. That is, one has to take a precaution that was previously almost unknown to pharmacists, so that they could not even preserve powders of well dried animal and vegetable substances in well closed bottles without spoilage. Even fully dried whole crude vegetable substances necessarily contain a certain amount of moisture to hold their fabric together. This is not enough to allow the drug to spoil when it is whole and unpowdered, but quite enough when it is finely powdered. Thus, the animal and vegetable substances that have been completely dried while still whole produce on pulverization a somewhat moist powder that cannot be stored in a tightly closed bottles without rapidly molding and decaying unless this excess of moisture has first been removed. That when there is pulverization done. And for this aphorism, that is aphorism number 268, there is a footnote under that aphorism, and that is regarding the how the powder form is preserved. In this aphorism, we are going to discuss the how the medicines are prepared from the exotic plant or the foreign origin plants. And for that aphorism, there is a footnote under this aphorism, that is 268, regarding the how that powder form medicines are preserved. And in this, they told about the medicines that is converted into powder form, that must have some moisture, and this moisture cannot be closed with the powder form medicines, as that may get spoiled. And for this reason, first you have to dry very well the any plant or animal substance, and after very well dried, and after the extraction of all the moisture from that plant and animal, after that you have to pulverize, means you have to convert that dried substance into powder form, not the directly the plant and animal converted into the powdered form, as there is presence of moisture in the animal and plant substances. So in this way, this is prepared. The best way to do this is to spread the powder in a flat, high-sided tin dish floating in a spot boiling water, and dried it by stirring until its practical particles on longer stick together but easily separate and scattered like fine dry sand. In this dry state, the fine powder can be permanently stored at its original medicinal strength in a well closed and sealed bottle without spoiling and without ever becoming mite ridden or moldy. Preferably it should be protected from tight in a closed container box, all animal and vegetable substances gradually lose their medicinal strength even when they are whole, and for far more when they are powdered, if they are not stored in airtight containers away from sight. So in this way the medicinal plants are prepared from the exotic substances or the plants of foreign origin that are not native. And the footnote having how to preserve the that powdered form exotic substances in footnote under aphorism number 268. Now we shift towards the next aphorism, that is aphorism number 269. So what is aphorism number 269? It is regarding the dynamization of drugs, that is for its own special purpose and by its own special procedure never tried before my time. Homeopathy develops the inner spirit like medicinal powers of crude substances to a degree unheard of and makes all of them exceedingly, even immeasurably penetrating, active and effective, even those that in the crude state do not have the slightest medicinal effect on the human organism. So what is this remarkable transformation of the properties of natural bodies through the medicinal action of trituration and succussion on their tiniest particle, while these particles are diffused in an inert by dry or liquid substances, develop the latent dynamic powers previously imperceptible and as it were lying hidden asleep in them. These powers effectively affect the vital principles of animal life. This process is called dynamization of potentization, development of medicinal power, and it creates what we call dynamization and the potencies of different degrees. In this, it is explained that the dynamization of drugs. In this, dynamization of drugs means the substances which are present in the crude form are converted into a dynamic form. In this, we reduce the quantity of the medicine and we increase the quality of medicines. Means dynamization is the physical and pharmaceutical process with the help of which the latent dynamic curative properties of the drug is aroused into activity. Which are the dynamic curative properties of the drug that we aroused into activity, which are present in a latent state in the crude form. Means in the crude form the latent power dynamic powers are present, but these dynamic powers curative properties of the drugs we aroused into activity by the process of potentizations. And the process of dynamization is introduced by Dr. Hahnemann himself, which he has introduced into the 5th edition of Organon of Medicine, and he was the first person in the medical profession who has introduced this process. So Dr. Samuel Hahnemann was the first person who used this method of dynamization, and this process of dynamization he introduced into the 5th edition of Organon of Medicine. By the process of dynamization, that is the latent dynamic power of the drugs aroused into the activity, and for this purpose we use the two methods, that is trituration and succussions. Triturations for the solid substances and succussion for the liquid substances, and by these processes we convert the crude form into the dynamic form. And for this reason there are having different advantages of dynamization of drugs. In this, the long before I made this discovery, people were aware through experience changes that can be produced in various natural substances by friction. For instance, warmth, heat, fire, the magnetization of steel But all these properties produced by friction manifested only on a lifeless physical level, whereas there is a law of nature by which physiological and pathogenic force capable of altering the health of the living organism are generated in the crude substances of remedy through trituration and succussions. Even a substance never before found to be medicinal, provided it is diffused in a fixed proportions of an inert non-medicinal medium. This wonderful law, which is physical but more especially physiological and pathogenic, was not known before me. It is no wonder then that natural scientists and physicians of our day, still unfamiliar with this, have not believed in the magical healing power of remedies prepared according to the homeopathic method, that is by dynamized and employed in such a small dose. So Dr. Hahnemann himself explained as he was the first person who introduced this process of dynamization, and by this process of dynamization he used the latent power of that crude substances, and that latent power of crude substances do a magical effect on the human body, and that causes the healing or the cure of the patient, that is in a magical way, that is not seen by the eye. And they, at that time, they don't believe that a small doses of that particular medicine, how the magic occurs and how it treat the patients. Then in the same way, there is no denying that there is within an iron bar or a steel rod to stress of magnetic force when either has been left standing upright immediately after being forked. Its lower end repels the north pole of magnetic needle and attracts the south pole, while in the same way the upper end proves to be south pole. But this is only a latent force. Not even the finest iron filings can be magnetically attracted or held by either end of such rod. Not until we have dynamized a steel rod, rubbing it strongly in one direction with a blunt file, does it become a true active powerful magnet capable of attracting iron and steel and of imparting magnetism to another steel rod, not just by contact but even at some distance. The more it has been rubbed, the more strongly this happens. Similarly, the trituration of medicinal substance and the succussion of its solution, the medicinal forces lying hidden in it are developed and uncovered more and more, and the material is itself spiritualized, if one may use that impression. In this, Dr. Hahnemann gave the example of the magnet, that is how the south pole of the magnet and north pole of the magnet is fixed, and how this act, how it attracts the iron particles. What is the power that is present in the magnetism? That power also cannot be seen by the eyes. In this way, similarly, the trituration of the medicinal substance and succussion of the solutions, the medicinal forces lying hidden in it are developed and uncovered more and more, and material is itself spiritualized, if one may use that impression. And in this way, the homeopathic medicines are prepared in the dynamic way. Therefore, this transformation is the increase and greater development only of the power that these natural bodies have to affect humans and animals in their state of health. When in their refined condition they touch or closely approached sensitive lying tissues through ingestion and inhalation, just as a magnet, more so if its magnetism has been increased, dynamized, will produce a steel needle near a touching its pole only magnetism without changing the steel in any of its other medicinal, physical or chemical properties. And just as the magnet will not bring about any change in their other metals such as brass, so also dynamized medicine do not affect lifeless things. Means how the magnet acts. In this way, it is explained about the use of the magnet, that is also the homeopathic medicines, how they are dynamized, and how also the dynamized medicine do not affect the lifeless things. It affect only a lively things, or the things which are having a life, that affects only a live things. Then every day one still hears homeopathic medicinal potencies referred to as mere dilutions, while they are in fact quite the opposite. Trituration and succussion unlock the natural substances, uncover and reveal the specific medicinal power lying hidden in their soul. The non medicinal dilutant is only an auxiliary through indispensable factor. Simple dilutions of a grain of salt results in a nothing but pure water. The grain of salt disappear upon being diluted in a large amount of water and never thereby becomes the medicinal salt that our properly made dynamization have raised to such a wonderful power. In this they give the examples of salt, that is when we dissolve salt in a water, there is only a preparation of pure water, but when we the grain of salt disappear upon being diluted in large amount of water and never thereby becomes the medicinal salt that our properly made dynamization have raised to such a wonderful power. That is, there is a thought, that is homeopathic medicines are nothing but dilutions, but this is the explanation given by Dr. Samuel Hahnemann regarding the example of salt. When we dissolve the salt in water, it becomes the water only, that is pure water, and when we dissolve that salt in a large quantity of water, there is no any particles regarding the salt, or you cannot recognize that the salt is present in that or not. But when that is also dilution, but when we dissolve the our medicines, that is prepared of natramol, that having the power to alter the state of health, and that power of altering the state of health, it is due to the dynamizations. That is, in first condition we only dissolve the salt in water, that becomes only a water, but when we take the dilutions of a natramor, that natramor having not only a dilutions but the dilution having the power that we gain by the process of dynamization or the process of potentization. So this is regarding the example of common salt. This is explained in aphorism number 269, that is dynamization of drugs. And in this dynamization of drugs, there are some advantages of the dynamization of drugs. That is, first one, it helps to explore the dynamic curative properties of the drug or the substances which are normally inert. In this, the first advantage of dynamization of drug is it explores the dynamic curative power of the drugs or substance which is normally inert. That is, the substance is inert in this in normal form, but when we increase its power, it convert into fantastic medicines. Then increase pharmacological and therapeutic activities. It also important to increase the pharmacological and the therapeutic activity of that medicines when we convert that medicine in the dynamic form. Then those substances which are physiologically of nutritive value or a inert or a poisonous or narcotic in their crude state, dynamization helps to explore their therapeutic peculiarities and helps the mankind by their curative values. In this they gave the examples like natramor. In crude form, common salt do not have that properties, that are present in the natrium ore. Also, the silica or the sand. Sand is inert in their crude form, but when we prepare that medicine, it acts wonderfully. Also, arsenic. This acts as a poisonous in a crude form, but when we convert it into a dynamic form, it become a very good medicine. Also, we take example of opium. Opium also a poisonous substance when we take in a crude form, but after a potentization or the dynamization, we can make a very well medicine of opium. Then the next advantage of dynamization of drugs is that the dynamization has helped to explore the uncommon peculiarities characteristic of the natural substances or drugs during provings. It also helped in the to explore the uncommon peculiarities characteristic of the substances or the drugs during proving, which help to individualize character of proper individualization. And in this way we can use for the individualization of the person or the remedy. The next advantage of the dynamization of drug is that apart from the unknown chemical and physiological action, the dynamization changes its character and made easily tolerable to the human system. Means apart from the chemical and physiological action of the dynamization changes its character and made easily tolerable to the human system. That is, arsenic podophyllum in large doses produces diarrhea, vomiting, but in dynamic form it produces different effects. Means the medicine having the action, that is poisonous action in a crude form, that can be converted in the dynamic form. Then more a drug is dynamized, the greater its dynamic medicinal power increased to an incredible degree. As more the drug dynamized, its power is decreased. So these are the different advantages of that is preparing the medicine in a dynamic form, that is explained in aphorism number 269. Then we shift towards the next aphorism, that is aphorism number 270. In aphorism number 270, it is explained about the methods of dynamization. What are the methods that we used for the process of dynamization? In this, there is the centesimal scale and 50 millisimal scale, that is explained 50 centesimal scale explained in aphorism in the 5th edition of Organon, and the 50 millisimal scale that is explained in the 6th edition of Organon of Medicine, that is methods of dynamization of drugs. In methods of dynamization of drugs, that is centesimal scale, how it is prepared. In this scale, the first potency should be contained 1/100th part of the original drug, and the second potency will contain the 1/100th part of the first potency, and so on. The potency in this scale is denoted by the letter C to the number indicating potency. In this the methods of dynamization, there are two scales used by Dr. Haniman, that is centesimal scale and 50 millisimal scale. Centesimal scale, it is introduced into the 5th edition, and in this it takes one part of the mother tincture or the medicinal part and the 100 part of the alcohol, and in this way it is mixed. And when the next potency is prepared, in this the one part of the medicinal part which is prepared and the 100 part of alcohol is taken, and in this way the respective potencies are prepared. The potency is denoted by the letter C. In this, the potencies in the centesimal scale is made by mixing 1 ml of the required mother tincture or mother solution with 99 ml of the dispensing alcohol. The potency marked as a 1C. The potency 2C will be made by taking 1 ml of the first potency by adding the 99 ml of the dispensing alcohol and so on. So in this way the potency is prepared, that is centesimal potency can be prepared in this way. Now the 50 millisimal scale that is introduced into the 6th edition of Organon of Medicine, and in this scale the first potency should be contained 1 upon 50,000 part of the original drug. The second potency will contain 1 upon the 50,000 part of the first potency and so on. Potency in this scale is denoted by the letter, that is 0 by 1, 0 by 2, 0 by 3, 0 by 4, etc. So as in this scale the proportion of medicine to alcohol will be 1 to 50,000. So this scale of potency is called as a 50 millisimal scale. In this the triturate the crude drug substance in the usual manner with sugar of milk in the proportion of 100 milligram of drug substance or 0.0 ml of liquid drug substance with 10 gram of sugar of milk. Triturate the first potency. This prepared again in a usual manner taking 100 milligram of first potency and 10 gram of sugar of milk. The next triturate the second potency, thus obtained with the same proportion and manner to prepare the subsequent third potency. So in this the first you have to triturate the medicines, and that is prepared in a regular way. To prepare a solution of a third potency by mixing 100 milligram of a third potency with 50 ml of a mixture of a purified and dispensing alcohol. This mixture is prepared by adding 1 part of dispensing alcohol to 4 parts of purified water. To make the solution properly, firstly dissolving 100 milligram of the third potency in 40 ml of purified water and then add 10 ml of dispensing alcohol and call it the mother solution. Now pour 1 part of this mother solution to 100 parts of dispensing alcohol and give 100 strong succession. This makes the first 50 millisimal potency denoted by 0 by 1. For the preparation of each subsequent potency, take few globules of nearly uniform size, 100 globules of which will weigh about 65 milligram. Then pour a drop of preceding potency upon these globules and dry them. Take 1 globule and dissolve it in a drop of purified water. In a new clean phial, add 100 drops of dispensing alcohol to it and give 100 strong succession. The needed potency is now ready. So this is the way by which the 50 millisimal scale is prepared. So in aphorism number 270 they explain about the method of dynamizations, and in this method of dynamization they prepared the centesimal scale that is explained in 5th edition and 50 millisimal scale that is explained in the 6th edition. And in this they gave the how the potencies are prepared, that is how centesimal scale prepared and how 50 millisimal scale prepared, and all this part we have studied in the first year in the homeopathic pharmacy. Then in aphorism number, this is all about the preparation of the medicines, that is regarding the 50 millisimal and the centesimal potency. Now we shift towards the aphorism number 271, that is if the physician prepares his homeopathic medicine himself, which is what he should do if he is to liberate mankind from diseases, he can use fresh plants. Now in this they explain about the physician should have a knowledge of pharmacy. So what is explained in these aphorism, that is aphorism number 271, that is regarding the knowledge of pharmacy. Physician must have a knowledge of pharmacy, that is in order to achieve the goal of ideal cure, physician has to prepare each and every medicine by its own, but practically it is not possible. Again, preparation of medicine is one of the part of pharmacy. As we have defined earlier, there are many dimensions, so that physician is ideal who is having knowledge of ideal homeopathic pharmacy. So physician who is the ideal physician, that physician must have a knowledge of homeopathic pharmacy, as he should know the each and everything about the homeopathic pharmacy, that is how the medicines are prepared, how they are stored, how they are dispensing, how the repetition of the medicines done. All this knowledge must be known to the homeopathic physicians. So this is regarding the knowledge of homeopathic pharmacy. Now in para 272, or regarding the, that is how the administration of the remedy is done, that is explained in aphorism number 272. In this they explain as, one such globule placed dry on the tongue is one of the smallest for the mild disease of recent onset. Here only a few nerve endings are touched by the medicine, but an identical globule crushed into some milk, sugar, and dissolved into a large amount of water and well shaken before each dose provides a far stronger medicine for use over several days. Each dose of it, however small, immediately touches many nerve endings. In this, these globules retain their medicinal power for many years if protected from sunlight and heat. So this is regarding the administration of the remedy. As homeopathic remedies directly acts through the nerves, so small while administration of a remedy, it should came into maximum contact of surface area supplied by the nerves. So we know that the homeopathic medicine act on the nerves, as there is the large number of nerves or a contact of nerves, that must be the site of administration of the homeopathic medicines. And for this reason, while administering of a remedy, it should came into maximum contact of surface area supplied by the nerves. So prior to administration, as per dose, globules should be crushed with a sugar of milk and should be dissolved in a good quantity of water, and then a dose should be administered. And for this reason, globules should be crushed with a sugar of milk and should be dissolved in a good quantity of water, and then a dose should be administered. So in homeopathic medicines, we advise the patient to take the medicine on a tongue, and this is the way by which the administration of the remedy should be done in a homeopathic way, that is explained in aphorism number 272, that is how the medicine are administered in the homeopathy. So this is about the aphorism number 272. So in this lecture we studied about the aphorism number 264 to 272, and these aphorisms contain the knowledge of homeopathic pharmacy, as the homeopathic physician must have a knowledge of homeopathic pharmacy regarding the genuineness of the medicines, then the employment of correct medicine, how correct medicine should be employed, then medicines that are of vegetable and plant kingdom have their medicinal properties in a raw state, then that is medicines prepared from indigenous plants, then medicines prepared from the exotic plants and how they are preserved, having a footnote under aphorism number 268. Then in aphorism number 269 we studied about the dynamization of drugs, that is the concept explained in the 5th edition of Organon of Medicine. Then in aphorism number 270 we studied about the method of preparation of dynamization. In this there are two methods, centesimal scale and 50 millisimal scale. Centesimal scale, that is explained in the 5th edition of Organon of Medicine, and the centesimal scale, that is explained in 5th edition of Organon of Medicine, and 50 millisimal scale, that is explained in 6th edition of Organon of Medicine. And last aphorisms, that is 271, that is the ideal homeopathic physician must have the knowledge of preparation of medicine, then how to preserve that medicines, then dispensing of medicines, and mode of repetition of that medicines. And last aphorism, that is aphorism number 272, it is about the how the homeopathic medicine should be administered to the patient, that is administration of remedy. So these are the aphorisms 264 to 272 regarding the knowledge of homeopathic pharmacy. I hope you all understand. If any difficulty, you can ask me personally anytime. So thank you friends.